How is he only a 90 overall? You have Richard Sherman, some old man who can't run for jack.
You need to put respect on Zach Ertz's name and a bunch of other tight ends that should be higher than Rob Gronkowski.
The man hasn't played since 2018. He's not going to be the NL MVP.
And then he goes onto an Instagram live where he seems to have been under the influence, smoking a cigar.
I don't think MVP is indicative of the best player in the league.
Welcome back to Go Chat, guys. You saw the intro. I hope you all enjoy it. It's something new. We retired the C from Mike. Thank God. It was getting very annoying. Editing everything. It seriously was playing back in my head as I sleep. But we are back with another episode. Episode number 23. Kind of a fun one. I mean, not gonna lie, 23 is a big number. So I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. Of course, the Go to the Number is sponsored by 1306 Sports. If you want more sports content, you want to see articles by Tommy, Connor, our friend Dean Fence. He put up a great article about the NHL. Please check it out if you love the NHL. I read it myself. We talked about it, me and him, and I really love the article. It was a great one. But let's get right into it. Go to number 23, Mike. Are you going with Mike?
I got to go with Mike because I'm like Mike. He is the best athlete of all time. Connor, why are you giving me that face?
You're nothing
What's
like
up, dude?
You're nothing like Mike.
We're exactly the same. Listen, I'm the greatest on Go Chat. He's the greatest in the NBA. It's no big deal.
Time out. I took the lead. I took the lead on the
Okay,
Go to
listen.
the
Okay,
lead.
we're talking about every segment here. Okay.
Well, that is true. You are the greatest, but
I mean,
for
don't
Go
give
of
him
the
that.
Week, for Go of the Week, I have the title at the moment.
All right, there you go. But yeah, it definitely has to be Michael Jordan. I think, LeBron is a great player, but I think what Michael Jordan has done through his playoff success, 2 3-peats in a row, goes to play baseball, comes back, has another 3-peat. I mean, he carried that Bulls team to the finals. Yes, you could say Scottie Pippen, whatever, right? Scottie Pippen was a Hall of Fame player, which he was. But Michael Jordan scored the highest percentage of points in the 98 finals for his team at 38%, and he did the same thing in 93 when he scored 38%. Then the year before in 97, he scored 37% of his team's points. So Michael Jordan is definitely the GOAT of the number 23, 6-time champ, one of the only guards to win Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's a 9-time he was on the 9-time. He was on the all-defensive NBA team 9 times. Yeah. So, 10-time scoring champ, the best athlete we've ever seen, period, end of story.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got cut out between that. So
Yeah, I did see that. Did you hear all of Mike's rambling?
I know I did hear a lot of it. So I know Mike said some great stuff, but we'll just move on from that. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Tommy, who's your go with number 23?
Well, as much as I would like to go the baseball person, as I always do, I think I have to side with Mike on this one. It's obviously Michael Jordan, the best to ever wear number 23, because he's one of the best to ever wear a uniform in all sports. I mean, it's hard to argue against Michael Jordan. Obviously, in my opinion, he's the best of all time over LeBron. He was just incredible, with what he did with the Bulls. And, I've always known what he did, but I was able to watch the Last Dance documentary, and that was great. Really got like an inside scoop of, what that whole run was like. And it's incredible to win 6 titles, and just that whole team, I thought it was a great story. And yeah, I mean, Mike, you talked about a lot of his statistics. He was incredible on both sides of the ball, and his play was just off the charts for all the seasons he played. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Michael Jordan. Go to number 23.
Well, you did mention The Last Dance, which is something that I forgot. If you go watch that full documentary, episode 1 through 10, you could see all the struggles that Michael Jordan had to go through to even get to 3 championships in a row, much less win 3 championships in a row. Two different times, especially at the end with all the dysfunction in the Bulls organization. I mean, they pretty much completely hid that. I'm not sure if you know it's in the documentary, Tommy, but that organization was screwed. They completely blew up after that 98 season. I mean, and you look what happened since Michael Jordan. Nothing. Derrick Rose, that's about it. So Michael Jordan, 100%. Great point, Tommy.
I think it's kind of interesting that Tommy did not go with the baseball player. I was expecting the worst, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, for the honorable mention, I will have a baseball person because there's a very good one there, but it's hard to argue with Michael Jordan. I mean, he's just the best.
Connor, where are you going with this?
Look at his smirk.
This pause is.
Wait, are you going with Don Mattingly?
I am. No.
Oh my gosh!
But before I say my pick, I'm just gonna say I don't want another episode 12 Mike face. Okay. If we remember, that was Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers here.
No. It's definitely different.
LeBron James. LeBron James. Okay.
LeBron James.
All of their numbers overall are pretty similar, maybe except for the finals. 16-time All-Stars, 15 times All-NBA. He's a 6-time All-Defensive. Yes, MJ had the 10. He won a Rookie of the Year. He was a 3-time All-Star MVP, a 3-time Finals MVP, 4-time MVP. He's already in his 17th year. MJ was done after 15. And MJ's last 2 seasons were in Washington, which really had – he wasn't good. He really wasn't great. Now, I mean, obviously his absence there was when he went to go play baseball in Chicago. But, I mean, even still, LeBron's has more average rebounds and assists per game more than MJ. He has a better overall field goal percentage, a better three-point percentage. And in his 17th season, he's still in MVP form. He's up there every single season. Right now, he's up there against 22, 23, 24 years old, and he's out there at 35, 36. 17 seasons. Came in straight out of high school, a number 1 pick. Straight out of high school.
Okay, we're talking about his accomplishments in the NBA. No one cares if he's the number 1 pick or the 60th pick.
Sure, but I mean, he was still right out of high school. Like we don't see that anymore. Obviously, it's now not allowed. But him and Kobe really, they're the people that stopped that rule because they came straight out of high school and were so dominant right away. He's been dominant for 17 seasons. There hasn't been a season when you've looked up at the stats and said, "Where'd you go, LeBron? Where have you been?" Since 2011. He's only missed 1 finals. Now, obviously, his finals record isn't what it should be according to the LeBron stature and all that stuff. But only missing 1 finals in the last 10 years that's incredible. And I mean, you look at the teams he was with Miami there from 2011 through 14 that had Wade and Bosh. But other than that, I mean, Ray Allen, Chris Anderson, Shane Battier, Mario Chalmers, that team really – besides the big 3, wasn't built all that great. And then he went to Cleveland with a young Kyrie, and that's about it, a Kevin Love, and won there. And then, I mean, Kyrie leaves, and there's still a top team there. And then he goes out to LA last year, obviously. It does take a credit down on his stature because he did not make the playoffs. But he also missed time. He was injured part of that season. Obviously, if he's on the court during that, different story. And then we see him now. He has that extra piece there in Anthony Davis, a little bit of extra help. And there they are, number 1. I'm not saying that MJ's a bad basketball player. I'm not saying that MJ isn't one of the greatest. But LeBron is better.
Yeah, I would just like to put mine out there before Mike just goes on. So mine is, both these guys are talented, I have to say, but I'm going to side with Michael Jordan. I think 100% LeBron. Everything that Connor said was great stats, and like he's so talented, and I honestly think truly that by the end of LeBron's career, he definitely could take over as a 23. But as of right now, I'm going MJ. I just think that MJ was he was just so magnificent, and I'm not even saying LeBron isn't magnificent. These guys are both great, but I just think MJ has a little slide for me over there. And I've always thought about this. I've said LeBron before. I mean, I'm pretty sure episode 1 I contemplated LeBron and MJ, but I'm going to side with MJ on this one.
Now, again, before I'm going to let Mike, I see some steam coming out of Mike's ear, so let me talk just one more time here. How many times have I said on this podcast that the GOAT of a number for me is so much more than just the on-court, on-field talent?
I mean, I think that A lot of us have said that. I mean, that's for me too.
That's fair. But I mean, LeBron has given back so much. He has that I Promise school. He is giving these kids who he grew up, the town that he grew up in, they get a free education basically. They if they graduate from the I Promise school, they get a free ride to Akron University. That's incredible. That's something that we don't see from athletes. That's something that we don't see from anybody. And I mean, we look at the Last Dance documentary that was filmed, and we see MJ pretty much telling people that they can't be on his team. They can't be on the dream team. I mean, look at Isaiah Thomas. He had all these feuds with different players. LeBron really doesn't have any feuds. The biggest thing that I've seen LeBron have was Patrick Beverley blowing in his ear. And that's it.
Lance Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson. Same thing. They're both on the court. That's my bad. Anyway, it's LeBron. The off the court person of LeBron plus the on the court talent. It's a hard decision, but I think I'm making the right one.
Okay, listen, LeBron off the court, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the I Promise school, when I saw it, I just had to, clap my hands. It was just absolutely great. Free rides to college, all that stuff is great. But it's not like Michael Jordan hasn't done, anything off the court as well. The Jordan brand, after, all the protests over the death of George Floyd, they pledged $100 million over the next 10 years to help with justice reform and, helping out education reform in Black lives and like perverted cities, like poverted cities, not perverted cities. I just want to make that clear. And going back to on the court, listen, yes, since 2011, he's only missed one finals. But, I mean, the Eastern Conference hasn't been good. Like, it's been the Eastern Conference. It's been weak outside of LeBron's team for many, many years. If you want to talk about the Indiana Pacers with Paul George, Danny Granger, and Roy Hibbert, yeah, they were a great team, but they had no chance to compete with LeBron James, a talented veteran. Paul George was just a baby at that time. And you look at the big three Celtics, yeah, they got LeBron when he was in Cleveland, but by the time he got to Miami, they were old and got traded to Brooklyn. And you saw what happened there. And then after that, who do you have to compete with the Cavs? I mean, literally no one. That's why they were able to pretty much sweep through the Eastern Conference. And you're talking about Kyrie like he's some trash bag. I mean, he hit the biggest shot in the finals that year in Game 7. Step back on Steph Curry to win the game. Yes, LeBron had the block to save the game against Iguodala, right? But without Kyrie, they don't win that game. Let's be honest.
I never once said that he was a trash bag. I said that was a young Kyrie at the time. It was a Kyrie that was very young into the league. And without LeBron on that team, he doesn't have the opportunity to take that shot.
Definitely not. But without Kyrie on that team, he doesn't win the finals. You know what I mean? And it's like hard to say because obviously without Curry, they wouldn't have won the finals. And obviously without Pippen, they wouldn't have won the finals. But you just look at Michael Jordan's success in the playoffs. He has had no failures in the finals. Yes, if you want to talk about his first round exits during his first couple of years, when he had literally no help on his team, he was putting up 50 a game against the 80 Celtics with 4 Hall of Famers on their team. We can talk about that, and I'll explain to you why that shouldn't count against him. But you look at LeBron's meltdown against the Dallas Mavericks and then him activating playoff mode last year and doesn't even make the playoffs, doesn't sniff the playoffs. I mean,
he got hurt.
I understand, but he comes back from his injury. If you're saying you're activating playoff mode and you miss the playoffs like that so miserably, what does that put on your resume? It puts a big fat L. I don't see no L's on Michael Jordan's resume. I see a big 6-0. Big 6-0. He's had the most 50-point games in the playoffs. He's at 8. You know how many LeBron has? 0. Michael Jordan just takes over games. You just see game series winner against the Utah Jazz in the finals, against the Cavs. Go watch the Last Dance documentary. It will explain how fantastic of a player Michael Jordan is and how he is indubitably better than LeBron James.
That was a good word there. I'll
Thank you.
That. I also do want to say, though, I will have this debate because it is definitely a debate of the number 23, but I am also one of the people here when it comes to the LeBron-Jordan debate, where often I say they played in different eras. That is a big part that I want to mention when we're talking about these two players is the different eras. MJ played in a much more physical game there where they definitely had to work more. And LeBron is now in an NBA that arguably we can say has been babied. And he's become accustomed to that league, obviously, and that's what makes him that good player. But MJ plays in that more physical league, but I mean, LeBron is still putting up these numbers against bigger players, arguably better talent. So, I mean, it's hard to debate this with the different eras. If this was a conversation of LeBron versus Kawhi Leonard down the line in 15 years or whatever, not saying that's going to happen, but then I'd say this would be a more reasonable debate to have. But I do think that the MJ versus LeBron debate is very hard to have.
Well, I think when you factor in like the different eras, I feel like that probably should give an edge to Michael Jordan because he was a smaller player playing in a much more physical era where bigger players were able to put hands on you. I mean, you look back at the Bulls Pistons series and you look at Bill Laimbeer just absolutely playing football against the Bulls. I mean, he was a bully. And Michael Jordan overcame that. And you were talking about the feuds. I mean, I don't give a damn if the players have feuds. If they're putting up 2 3-peats, then it's totally fine with me. And it was only with Isaiah Thomas. You look at Michael Jordan had a great relationship with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. And in The Last Dance, they explained why Michael Jordan had a feud with Isaiah Thomas, because once the Bulls finally did beat the Pistons 4-1 in a series, the Pistons just walked off the floor without shaking their hand. And every time the Pistons beat the Bulls before that, the Bulls would come over, shake their hand, good series, sportsmanship, right? So Michael Jordan took that personally, and that explains why he necessarily didn't want Isaiah Thomas on the team. And Michael Jordan was not the only one on the Dream Team that did not want Isaiah Thomas. At least half that team hated him. Magic Johnson hated him. Charles Barkley hated him. Larry Bird hated him. All of them hated him. So you can't solely blame Michael Jordan for Isaiah Thomas not being on the Dream Team. And they still had John Stockton to back up and Joe Dumars. So I know Isaiah Thomas is better, but it's kind of comparable if you kind of think about it.
I mean, there's really not much more. Oh.
Yeah. But listen, LeBron is a great player. I probably think he's the second best all time, but I'll just leave it there.
There isn't much more back and forth we can do. Tommy, you said you have an honorable mention. I think you mentioned him.
Yeah, I did mention him. Have to
No,
go. With
don't mention it. We're good. We don't need a baseball player in this. We're good.
All right. All I was going to say was Don Mattingly. That's my honorable mention. But, he was a Yankee captain. He never won a World Series, but he played great with them. Obviously, his number's retired. So that's my honorable mention.
Great captain of the Yankees there.
For sure. Tommy, I like it.
Yeah, I kept it short and sweet that time.
Yeah, I definitely think that we could transition into the NBA in the first couple games. That Connor, you want to say something?
Let me tell you what, though. If there's anybody out there on our Instagram page, on our YouTube page, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, who does agree with me, I'd love to sit down and have that conversation with you. I know that the vast majority is going to agree with the rest of my co-hosts here. But if there are any LeBron people who give LeBron that edge here, I would love to sit down and talk.
For sure. If anyone wants to sit down and talk to us and have a civil conversation.
DM us.
Yeah, DM us. Well, I mean, if it's civil conversation, I don't want anyone just I don't know, just bad mouthing us. But of course, if you want to have a civil conversation, a great conversation about sports, we're always open to our DMs. We'll drop our Instagrams right below right now. Please don't spam us with some very inappropriate stuff. But we'll transition back into the NBA and the first opening games next. Welcome back to Go Chat. We just had a great debate on the number 23. Obviously, big number, so it was kind of longer. But we're going to transition into the NBA. We were both talking about 2 NBA players last segment, so we could go right into NBA. Obviously, the first 2 games we predicted. Some of us had bad luck, like myself, but, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Do you ever have good luck with picking?
No, I don't think I'm like doing good on air right now. I think you guys should just kick me off by now.
Fantasy team's doing okay though.
Yeah, my fantasy team is doing great. But if the opening games, obviously we had the Jazz Pelicans. Jazz won both close games, both great games. Let me just say that. But the opening games, Jazz Pelicans. Jazz won by 2, I think. Yeah, because Brandon Ingram hit trying to hit a game-winning 3, but it went in and out. Honestly, I thought it was going to go in, but we'll move on to the Lakers Clippers. Also another great game. Both 2 great games, guys. Obviously, even the games today and the yesterday. What were you guys thinking so far about the NBA and the bubble?
Well, let me just first say, if we go back to episode 21, we were talking about the NBA. Even though my pick was wrong with the Pelicans, let me just say that I was correct in saying Brandon Ingram there to play. He had a great first game.
Oh, yeah, he played phenomenal.
And then let me also say, how about those Heat?
Dude, I got to tell you, I kind of was trashing the Heat last episode. I think they played great. But like you said in our group chat, our text group chat, it's too early to tell.
It is incredibly early. But, I mean, the threes were going in. Bam played absolutely incredible. I talked Bam up very highly. And I do think that he fulfilled that talk in that first game back. Obviously, we have to see some more of it. But it was great. It was great. I enjoyed watching it.
Tommy, did you notice any teams that are trending down, that had a little hype?
Yeah, well, the Pelicans for sure, right? We were talking about last episode. We were hoping that Zion would come out ready to go. And, he talked about himself. He hasn't been getting the minutes that he's wanted. He hasn't been playing as much as people expected. And, they've struggled. They haven't done well. They lost their first game to the Jazz, and then they lost to the Clippers. We mentioned they have to win nearly all their games if they're going to make the postseason. So right now it's kind of looking for them like it's going to be difficult to get into the postseason. So, that's kind of disappointing because personally I was hoping to see Zion there in the postseason, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. But you never know. There's still plenty of time, and, maybe his minutes will increase here in the near future.
Yeah.
Three of us talk. Which one's going?
You guys go.
No, Mike, you go.
I was just going to
go. Someone go.
I'm talking. I was just going to say that mine and Mike's predictions there about Houston Rockets seemed to look pretty good there in the first game.
The first half.
Not necessarily the first half, but there was still how many points put up?
Not how you start, it's how you finish.
There was 165, 155, 75, 107, a lot of points put up in that game. And it was a great game to watch. It was a great game. It was a fun game to watch. And obviously the Rockets made the baskets when it counted. Kind of like in the Lakers game there last night when they were playing the
Raptors.
The Raptors made the baskets when it counted there.
Well, first I want to talk about the Lakers-Clippers game. I mean, what a game that was, back and forth. First, the Lakers come out to a huge lead. Then the Clippers take the lead at half. Then they come out just scorching hot in the third quarter. Then Anthony Davis carries the Lakers back in. LeBron, he did follow up his shot. It was 4 people around him. No one boxes out,
Yeah.
The ball comes directly to him. Great play by him, but I have to admit it was a little lucky. But great play by him.
It wasn't lucky. It was just awful defense. That's not luck.
I mean, the ball went right back to him. He shot the ball so bad.
There was 3 guys staring at him.
I know
That's
that.
not luck on that, dude.
Oh, my God, dude.
I never said it was all luck.
You just said it. Oh my
I said
God.
it was a bit lucky. I never said, oh my gosh, that should have never happened. I said it was a bit lucky. None of the defenders bounced out, but it was a good play by LeBron to finish it. Roll the tape. You'll see that I'm
There
right.
wasn't
Once
any
again,
luck
just
involved. It
just
was
like I was
bad
right in the
defense.
pick'em games. 2-0, baby.
Circles on Goat Chat. Mike is running circles on Goat Chat.
Listen,
Oh my
roll the
God.
tape. Roll the tape. I said it was a bit lucky. I never said,
All right,
oh,
still, it's not lucky at all. It was bad defense. They were staring. They're like, oh, LeBron, nice. They were staring at him.
okay.
Mike, let me
I'm
ask you.
saying, what are the chances you take a shot from that distance and it comes directly into your hands? That's what I'm saying.
mean,
Lucky.
the odds are very high when nobody's playing defense and staring at him.
Mike,
Okay.
Mike, let me ask you a question here, because Matt and I texted individually about this the other day. What'd you think of the foul calls there at the end of the game?
Dude. Like, even at the beginning of the game, I mean, it feels like every shot Anthony Davis was taking, he just went to the free throw line. I mean, he did get there, 17 times when he made 16 of them. I thought they were favoring the Lakers a little bit. Listen, the Lakers, I think they did play better than the Clippers because of Anthony Davis, and he just completely carried that team. LeBron continues to struggle against the Clippers. He's only averaging 20 points a game and shooting 37% from the field against the Clippers. I think Kawhi and Paul George give him a really tough time. And, well, if you're a Clippers fan, the good thing for you is that you didn't have Sweet Lou. You didn't have Lemon Pepper Lou. You didn't have Lou Hot Wings Williams. So, or Montrezl Harrell. They're both out of the bubble right now. They're about to come back. Montrezl can definitely give some help to Anthony Davis. If you have Joakim Noah guarding Anthony Davis, you're not going to have a fun time. as funny as that is. But I think the Clippers are looking up, especially Paul George is back. His shoulders are healthy. He's absolutely lighting it up from three. He is back and better than ever. He's that number 2 with Kawhi. Kawhi's 1A. Paul George is 1B. Clippers for the title right now. I'm locking it in.
Did this man just say that Paul George is back after one game?
2 games.
2.
You see him against the Pelicans too? They blew him out of the water.
It's still a little early to say he's back in action.
Okay. Bold prediction. There you go. Michael Woody, write it down. Paul George is back.
Is there ever
I have a long list of
Is there
Mike
ever a
Buetti.
prediction from Michael Buetti that isn't a bold take?
No.
I mean, listen, I'm the most correct on the show right now. 2-0 in the pick'ems. 2-0 in the
You just did 0-2, so I don't know.
2-0 in the pick'ems.
You just said 0-2 though on your
Oh, I
screen.
didn't. I said 2-0. Anyway,
You just did a 2-0 like this, and it was 0-2.
2-0. Look at the left.
It's opposite
This
for
is the
you.
left side. This is the right.
It's opposite for you. But
Okay. Anyways, regardless, right? Moving on. Obviously, there were other teams that played than the Clippers and Lakers. I thought Giannis was absolutely fantastic. 36 points. I mean, the Celtics always have a tough time guarding him because they're not really a big team. But Kemba Walker has played amazing for the Celtics. He's still on a minutes restriction because of his knee. But in the limited time that he's been playing, he's propelled that Celtics team to a whole nother level. And if you saw the game today, which is when we're recording on Sunday against the Blazers, Tatum went off. Finally got that haircut. I mean, that hair was just absolutely diminishing his play 1,000%. So he cut his hair, dropped 34. Jaylen Brown dropped 30. Gordon Hayward played really well, too, dropped 22 points. The whole Celtics team is coming together, so I think it's going to be a great battle between them, the Raptors, who just beat the Lakers. I'm shocked by that. And the Bucks for the East trip to the finals. I think it's going to be more competitive than people think, if I'm being honest.
You know what I hate, though? You know what I hate that you just said right there? Is that you're shocked that the Raptors won. They're the reigning champs.
yeah, I mean, even what LeBron said there's still a team outside of Kawhi. I think Kawhi got way too much credit for that team. I think that they're a phenomenal team, and no one even looked at them, to be honest. I mean, I even say myself, I didn't look at them.
They're
But they
sitting
went out there.
second right now in the East.
Yeah, but they went out there.
They're a really good team.
Impressed.
But they're a really good team, but I just am not going to expect Kyle Lowry to drop 33 points every game and drop 14 rebounds. I mean, he's 6 foot. He's a little tubby. I don't know how he got 14 rebounds against a team like the Lakers, who have JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis and LeBron James in the starting lineup, who can just grab boards left and right. But it just goes to show how good of a collective team the Raptors are, because you have all these different players chipping in. It doesn't matter who gets the ball. As long as they win the game at the end of the day, they're fine. And that's a great attitude for them to have as a team, because, I mean, I think they're less talented individually than some other teams in the NBA, like the Clippers and the Lakers, but they make it up by having a great team defense and having by playing well together.
Another great game that we watched this past weekend was the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Indiana Pacers.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. No, I will come out right now. The Sixers played awful. They didn't impress me at all. They had 14 turnovers in the first half. The team chemistry, you probably saw Embiid yelling at Shake Milton. No idea what happened there. I don't know what happened, but they played awful, you know. But it is one game, like Connor said, and TJ Warren absolutely went off. He just.
I think another name there for the Pacers. You'll be hearing TJ Warren's name later in the show, but I think another name there for the Pacers that is worth mentioning is Victor Oladipo. His first game back here, he put up 32 minutes and 15 points. I mean, 7 rebounds. I mean, obviously, coming back from an injury, I don't think you can get much better than that. Victor Oladipo has always been a very consistent player, whether he was with Orlando or with Indiana. And I think it's good to see a familiar face out there for Indiana.
Yeah, especially without Sabonis playing. That's definitely if Sabonis was playing, they would be a very, very dark horse-ish team. A very underdog team. That's probably a better word to say for them.
Do you have any more comments on the NBA before we move into our new Pick'em segment?
I just wanted to say, you know, let's continue to watch as, you know, the teams progress, because obviously a lot of teams are rusty. Sixers had 14 turnovers in the first half. The Clippers had 20 turnovers against the Lakers. So just keep watching, and we'll make our adjustments to our judgments as the season continues.
All right. Well, then I will say we'll move into our Pick'em segment, where I think Mike is going to try to keep his 100% there. I don't think
that's going to be kind of tough. I'm not going to lie, as much as I'm trash talking right now.
Well, we will be right back with the new segment. Welcome back to Go Chat. As I did just mention there in the last segment, we do have a new segment called the Pick'em segment, which is, I mean, as it sounds, we're going to just be picking teams who we think are going to be winning, whether it's a series or a game or whatever. Then we're going to keep a tally. We're going to have a new scoreboard, something else to see Matt at the bottom of. I guess we'll just start with NBA here. We're going to start off with a marquee matchup. The Boston Celtics versus the Miami Heat. I'll throw it over to the non-Celtics fans first here, and Tommy.
Well, you know, this is a tough one, and I hate to go with a Boston team because I'm not a Boston guy, but I'm going to pick the Celtics on this one, I think. I know that you've been saying that the Heat are playing well, and, you know, I would like to see them win. I just feel like the Celtics have the edge. They've had a pretty good year, and, yeah, I'm going to go with the Celtics for that one.
Matt, what are you thinking?
This is such a hard one. Not gonna lie. I trashed the Heat last episode. Oh man, I'm gonna go with the Celtics. That's just what my gut is saying. I'm on the bottom. I can't be making any like rash decisions at this point. I gotta go with the Celtics. I love what Tatum did last. And you know, Instagram. You know, Ajahn Patel, my buddy, my friend. I wasn't trashing Jason Tatum at all. I just said he had a bad game, and then, you know, he kind of went off about Ben Simmons' performance last year, which I admit it was a bad game. I don't know what happened there, but Jason Tatum's a great player. I don't mean to clown him at all, but he's definitely going to lead them that game.
Mike?
Listen, I mean, the Heat had a great game against the Nuggets, but the Nuggets were missing 3 starters, one of them being Jamal Murray, their second best player. I mean, I think the Heat are a really good team. They showed that against the Nuggets. I think they're similar to the Raptors in a way in which they play really good defense and they play collectively as a team, but I'm going to have to go with the Boston Celtics because I think Kemba Walker might be coming off his minutes restriction. It's going to be tough for the Celtics to win without Kemba Walker still being on a minutes restriction, but he's been playing phenomenal in the limited time he's had. So if he could bump that 20 minutes up to 30, 35 minutes, no doubt the Celtics are winning this game.
Well, even before I make my pick here, this is a huge game in itself because these two teams are battling for the third spot there in the East. Which I mean, the Celtics have it right now, but I only think the Heat are like 2 games behind. So obviously, with this being a game matchup, it's going to be big there. It's going to be a big matchup. I do think that the Heat are going to pull it out there in the end. I don't know. That's not even me having like a homer pick or anything there. Like just watching the teams and just seeing how well the Heat played in that first game. I mean, we really didn't see a whole bunch of blowouts here the first weekend. Obviously, the Clippers blew out the Pelicans. But I mean, the Heat, that game was close up until the middle of the third quarter, and then I mean, they just kind of took off there. They made the shots when it counted, and they wound up winning by 20 points. So I definitely think that they can do that against the Boston team. So I'm going to be the right man out here and pick the Miami Heat.
You mean the odd man out?
No,
Yeah.
the right man out. So I'm going to be right.
All right.
The Heat can definitely win, but I don't believe in their chances right now.
All right, let's move it to the NHL. Obviously, the NHL started Saturday. Of course, we're going to talk about the NHL probably next episode. You know, it's been kind of a jam-packed episode. We don't want to have a long one, but great games. I mean, Blackhawks won 6-4, which is promising for them. So, but, and a bunch of other great games that we could go into. But, time restrictions-wise, we don't want this too long. So the NHL game that we're picking for this pick'em is the Tuesday game, Hurricanes-Rangers at 8 p.m. If you guys didn't see Saturday, the Hurricanes edged out the Rangers 3-2. So this is the second game in the best-of-5 series. Rangers are winning 1-0 in the series. Tommy, who are you going to go with in this game?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rangers again. I think I'm going to take a 2-0 series lead. They have a good offense. And,
1-1.
while the Hurricanes have a good defense, I don't know. I just think that the Rangers' offense is going to be enough to give them the edge in the next game. So that's who I'm going to go with.
It is a 1-1 series, Tommy, but or it's a 2. It's a 1-0.
1-0 series. The Hurricanes are up 1-0.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard that wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm going with the Rangers.
You think a great that'll be a great game, definitely. Mike, who are you gonna pick?
If anyone watched that Hurricanes Rangers game, you saw how physical it was. You saw that playoff hockey atmosphere, even with no fans. I thought it was a fantastic game. If you ever want to get into hockey, go watch that game on Tuesday. It's been extremely physical. Hopefully, a lot goes as well. But anyways, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Hurricanes here. Have them take a 2-0 series lead. I think they're the more experienced team. They have a shutdown defense. You got Jakub Slavin, Dougie Hamilton, solid goaltending, and a pretty good offense as well. Panarin and Zibanejad are absolutely phenomenal players, but I don't know if they could carry the Rangers to a win. Maybe they'll win 1 or 2 in the series, but I think the Hurricanes got this on Tuesday.
Connor, who do you think is going?
I think this is going to be a very defensive game. Obviously, Mike mentioned some names there for the Hurricanes defense. A name that I haven't heard yet is Henry Lundqvist, the goal play for the Rangers. I think he could really step it up there. Playoff hockey, he knows what's on the line. They don't want to fall down 2-0. I think he could have a really good game there. So I am going to pick the Hurricanes here, but I think it could be a 1-0 game there for Miami.
I'm gonna have to agree with Mike here. I got Carolina.
Carolina, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I was like Miami, Miami. We're not talking about University of Miami. It's okay.
Yeah,
I thought the same thing, Connor. It's all right.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to go with the Hurricanes. I love what Capo Caco and the bread man Artemi Panarin. I miss him so much on the Blackhawks, but I'm gonna go with the Hurricanes. Love what the Hurricanes did game 1. I think that goaltending is gonna be huge, and I don't think if Lundqvist is, I think he might be. He was in game 1, but if he's starting, I don't think that. I'm gonna disagree with Connor, and I don't think that he's gonna have a great game himself. I mean, he's kind of had a little rough season, but 100% Connor, he can have a great game. He is a veteran. He knows what's
He's
up.
got the playoff experience. He could definitely steal a game for the Rangers.
I did pick the Hurricanes, though. Let me make that known.
Yes.
Yeah, he picked the Miami Hurricanes.
He picked the Miami Hurricanes. Yes.
I'm just mixing the Heat and the Hurricanes. Heat makes a hurricane. I mean,
there you go. All right.
Science. That is the science part of Goat Chat. Tommy, why don't you tell us about the MLB pick?
Yeah, so this week for the pick'em, we're going to have the Yankees and the Phillies. This series was supposed to be played last week, and we got into it last week about why the series didn't happen because the Phillies have played the Marlins, who had an outbreak of COVID-19. So it's going to take place this week. It's going to be a home and home. Monday and Tuesday will be played at Yankee Stadium, and then Wednesday and Thursday in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park. And Monday night is going to be a good pitching matchup. It's going to be Garrett Cole against Jake Arrieta, which I'm looking forward to. But they haven't made their decision for the rest of the games. But, it's going to be a good series. Obviously both the teams have loaded lineups. I know I'm going on about this, but I'm excited. We got Joe Girardi there with the Phillies, Didi, Andrew McCutchen, Bryce Harper. So many great names. And, I've talked about the Yankees for 23 weeks in a row here. So, obviously, I'm going to go with the Yankees. I got them 3-1 over the Phillies this week.
I have to agree with you, Tommy. I mean, the Yankees are just crushing the ball right now. And you were mentioning before this episode how you're frustrated with them. I don't know how, especially with me being a Mets fan. I understand you're frustrated with them playing today. But, listen, you have it really good right now. I just want to throw that out. The Yankees are a completely dominant team. It's going to be good to see, Joe Girardi and Didi back in New York, but I'm going with the Yankees.
Yeah, and just to clear that up, I'm not frustrated. They've been playing amazing, but it was just a particular point in the game where I was a little frustrated.
I'm also going to take the Yankees here. They're just crushing the ball. Aaron Judge now. You're seeing this on Tuesday, so that's 5 straight games with a home run. And also just to mention very quickly on the Phillies situation is some of the positive tests that they got back were deemed false positives. And the third positive test that they said is not directly related to the Miami Marlins, which is great news for all of baseball and specifically the Philadelphia Phillies. But it's definitely going to be my Yankees for my pick here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys said it said it best. I'm gonna go with the Stankies here. I think that I think that they're gonna edge out the Phillies. Phillies haven't played in a week. I mean, come on. So the Yankees, they've been looking hot lately. I know I did say a couple things about them last week, but let's not forget the James Paxton game against the Nationals. Phenomenal performance right there.
And against the Red Sox. I mean, he's killing it.
Don't pick on the Big Maple. He'll be okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Yankees here. I think this could close off our pick'em. We'll obviously have it next episode. We're going to take a break here, and we're going to go into the Go of the Week next. Welcome back to Go Chat. Sorry, guys, for that little break, but we're just going to go right into the Go of the Week. Favorite segment. It's Monday, at the end of Monday episodes. We check the leaderboard out. Tommy's running away with the Go of the Week, which, I'm not surprised.
Right.
We really have a Yankee bias fan base. This is why I hate New York, to be honest. But,
Why?
Nothing we could do about it. Because you pull out a Yankee player, they're like, oh, my God, I got to vote for you.
Then you pick a Yankee. That's not my fault.
Well, you pick all the good Yankees. You're like, oh, I call dibs.
No, I don't have to go like that. I watch the games, and I know who I'm going to pick.
Well, to be fair, the guy who he's going to pick this week, he did wait until the last second.
Yeah, I waited because Connor always usually claims
but I have a better one.
Okay. All right.
Here's the
Tommy's
leaderboard.
the king right now. I got to hand my crown over to Tommy.
Thank you. There we go.
Leaderboard is up. Tommy has 4. Tommy has 4. Connor and Mike have 3, and I have 2. Which not surprised. I don't win anything, but I always stand up with the W. But we're just gonna go right into it. Tommy, rip the Band-Aid off. Who's your Go of the Week?
Well, I mean, this is an incredibly obvious one. I don't know how anybody could beat him. Aaron Judge had an incredible week. The game's going on right now, and he's homered in 5 consecutive games. Who knows if he's gonna hit another home run tonight to have a 6th homer of the week, which would be absolutely incredible. But, if you've been watching the Yankees, they've gotten off to a really hot start, and, he's a big reason why. He hit a home run on Wednesday night to help that one. That was kind of a lopsided win, but then he hit the game-winning home run on Thursday night, a clutch blast in the 9th inning, which was great. And then he's homered against the Red Sox in all 3 games. He's just been outstanding. He's the first Yankee to homer in 5 games in a row. since A-Rod did in 2007. So, he had a great week, and that was obvious for me. Aaron Judge is the go of the week for me.
Okay, so the leaderboard's up now. Tommy has 5 goats of the week.
That's right, baby. There we go.
I have to admit, this is one of his better ones, not like some of them where the guy just,
Mark Schmidt.
Well, but hey, you have to admit, if you watch those intra-squad games, he was great.
Did he even make the team?
No.
He did not make
my. Well, he didn't win
Tommy
that
win that week?
No, I didn't win.
Oh, okay.
No.
Connor, who was your go of the week? Tommy, I would love for you to talk.
Mike,
Oh, no, I didn't have anything else to say. I'm all set.
are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm good.
Mike mentioned him earlier when we were talking about basketball. I'm going to go with TJ Warren here. I mean, he just played absolutely incredible there for the Pacers. A career high 53 points in 41 minutes, 20 for 29 from the field. I mean, if you're shooting 29 shots in a game, you're either James Harden or you're just feeling it. 9 for 12 from 3. I mean, he was just on fire. He had added a couple rebounds, couple RBIs, couple rebounds, couple assists. I mean, he just had himself a great game. And I mean, who knows? We haven't seen this much from TJ Warren, so maybe we get it more in the future here, and we can talk about him more down the line. But for this week's go of the week, I'm gonna go with TJ Warren.
Dude, TJ Warren, great pick. I'm not gonna lie, I watched that game and I kind of cried. But Mike, who's your go of the week?
Listen, Connor, that was an amazing pick. I mean, it's still hard to believe that the Phoenix Suns traded him for what? Like a trash bag, like a bag of chips? Like
his cap was a big, but he gone.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Paul George here from the Clippers. This was a kind of a tough choice for me because obviously Connor and Tommy have 2 great ones right here. But the reason I'm picking Paul George is him fully recovering from his injury, as we've seen the first 2 games. I think he dropped 28 points in both. He's been absolutely electric from 3. He looks like he's in full form again, playing great defense. He unfortunately, well, he did tie up the game against the Lakers with 20 seconds to go with hitting that insane 3 against LeBron. But he did help out defending LeBron the whole game. LeBron was held under 20 points. And you also look at the game against the Pelicans, in which they absolutely dominated. So Paul George returning to his near MVP form from last year with the OKC Thunder, in which he finished 3rd in the MVP voting. But, yeah, Paul George, he's back, baby. Bold prediction.
Matt, finish this up.
It's definitely a great pick, but I've got to go with Drew Brees. Obviously, we'll flash back to March, April-ish. He donated $5 million for COVID relief in the city of New Orleans, since the city of New Orleans at the time was a big hotspot for COVID-19. But yeah, and then we flash back early June, where the city of New Orleans, pretty much people were on the streets saying, "Enter explicit here." I can't say the word. Drew Brees, the F-bomb Drew Brees, which it wasn't that great, but he donated another $5 million to the state of Louisiana for more COVID relief through his Brees Dream Foundation, so giving health care to underdeserved communities in Louisiana. So it's a great thing. I've said before on the go number 9, this guy is someone that I look up to myself. So definitely incredible thing that he's done, and that's why he's my go of the week. Pretty different from you guys, but but that's my go of the week.
It's a great choice nonetheless.
Yeah, everyone is always great picks. I'm going to go out right now on live and say that I am calling all Yankee players for next week.
I think we should have a Yankee ban for like a couple.
No, we can't do a Yankee ban. But see, here's the thing. You guys all have really good picks, and they could win. It's not my fault that the voters like the Yankees.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Tommy,
I don't know.
like side deals on the side of it. Are you paying people to get votes?
No, to be
Tommy's
honest, I haven't even asked like one of my friends or anybody to vote for me, which I think you guys have. I think Mike did it one week.
I feel like.
What are you talking about? When did I do that?
Wait, Tommy has a point. Both of you guys have significant others.
Okay, mine does not vote for me every week like Connor's does, okay?
Yours absolutely does. I see her name every week.
Well, no, you could go look at all the polls. Not there. I see every single poll. Alexandra, right? I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Connor, regardless of the player.
Because I'm just that good.
Okay, I wasn't saying specific people. I just thought that you guys.
Why that specific?
Yeah,
people?
Matt called us out here.
Yeah, no, I thought that one week you said that you told people to vote for you, like.
Oh no, last week I was pleading like Matt because it worked for him, but it obviously did not work for me.
Okay, well, I didn't
deny this
out there, Mike, but no, I think that you all had good picks this week, so I'm rooting for you. But it's kind of tough when you pick Aaron Judge. So
that means a lot, Tommy. That really means a lot to me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I would appreciate it if I got a vote from you. I mean, I would really like that.
I voted for you last week, and Matt didn't.
Tommy can't vote. All right.
We can't vote.
I know. Sorry.
All right, we should wrap up this episode seriously. Guys, thank you again for watching this episode. If you made it this long, or you're just a fake fan who just doesn't make it this long, how to say it? But
where's the timestamp guy?
I don't know.
He wasn't here last episode.
I know.
I miss him.
Timestamp guy, if you're watching this, please comment below that you're watching this. We really appreciate everything you do. Seriously, we want to reach out to you and just say thank you for everything that you comment. You help the viewers know when stuff's going on in our video. Which might not help us, but we love you, man. But other than that, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram. Like we said, follow us on our main accounts or our own accounts. Have a civil debate, something that we love to do, that we love to get on here and, poke fun at each other. We have a lot of Mike versus everyone sometimes, but
we are on the lookout for Tribe Call number 2. So if you think you would be interested in calling in and having a debate about a sports topic of your choice, please reach out to the Goat Chat Instagram. We can set something up.
For sure. Other than that, we will see you guys on Thursday.